What up, S&M Hit Squad, and welcome back, guys. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl, Mel.
Yes, guys. So, all right, here we go. Justin, you will not believe this. The Metcalf family is receiving death threats. This is getting out of hand, guys. This is clearly out of hand.
Absolutely.
So you lose your son in death, and then you still continue to receive death threats.
Like, what planet are we living on? Like, what planet is this where people would threaten a family who just lost, who had to bury their son?
I don't understand that.
I don't get it, but let's get into it.
Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. All right, here we go.
Well, according to TMZ, the family of Austin Metcalf was flooded with dozens of hateful messages after Tuesday's guilty verdict. You will not believe some of these. And it reports that someone told the family Austin's twin brother, Hunter, should have died, and that Austin effed around and found out. As a reminder, Austin held his brother's body after he was stabbed. And people are threatening to show up to the Metcalf family home. Now, this comes as supporters of Karmelo Anthony are now reportedly turning to violence following his conviction. Police in Jacksonville, Florida, are investigating a suspected bike attack that was posted to X after the verdict. Meanwhile, Anthony's parents had this to say about the ruling.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was trying to be, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side.
What do you say to his grieving family?
It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this.
The judge is defending the jury selection process and his decision not to allow cameras in court. Quote, they were picked based upon the law. They listened to the facts. It happened in this courtroom, and they got a verdict. I know I made people mad, but I'm not here to make them happy either. Donna, you have done a lot of defense work. What do you think about the integrity of the jury selection?
I think the integrity of the jury selection was very good here. I think the judge did a very good job of making sure that they asked the questions that they needed to ask. Remember, the judge's responsibility is to keep the courtroom orderly and is to make sure that it's fair. And what they had to do was find a jury that would be fair and impartial. There's no rule that says you have to have X amount of jurors that fall into certain categories. You just have to find jurors that are fair and impartial. And one of the big issues that we heard here is that there's a lot of complaints now that this was an all-white jury. This was not an all-white jury. This was a jury comprised of Hispanics, a jury comprised of Muslims, a jury comprised of Asians. So for Karmelo Anthony's father to make that statement, not only is it irresponsible, but it's reckless, because now that goes out into the community, and that's what the community believes, and then people become outraged when they don't know the facts. And so, number one, that was incorrect. The second thing here that people don't understand is, yes, there were 3 black female jurors stricken. And, that doesn't sound great when you hear about it. And the defense did raise a Batson challenge. And what a Batson challenge is saying you can't discriminate based on race. You can't push people off of a jury because of race or religion or ideology. But what the prosecution said was it has nothing to do with race. We want them gone because they're teachers. And we don't think teachers can be fair and impartial in cases involving 17-year-old kids. So is that a reasonable response? It is. Are we going to see that as part of this appeal? We are. And when the appeal happens, the appellate court's going to decide if that challenge was right and whether or not the judge should have allowed one or more of those black female jurors to sit on the jury. I don't believe, with all the trial experience I've had, and I've seen what happens in appeals like this, I don't think that's going to be successful. I think that was a reasonable reason. Also, remember, this jury made a decision in under 3 hours. So I don't think there was a lot of question about the strength of the evidence here, and I think the rest of this is a lot of noise, and unfortunately, what's going out into the community now is really problematic.
Yeah, and there are certain facts here, Arthel. For instance, Austin, his body was purple and blue as his brother cradled his body. It is a tragedy. He said, I don't want to fight here. There were several black witnesses who said, yes, Karmelo Anthony was engaging in aggression and this kind of behavior. And now there are no winners. I do agree with that. There are no winners here.
You're right. And so is Karmelo's dad, who also said there are no winners here. This is such a tragedy and something that Donna want to just state it, which was the point that of what is out there in the community. A lot of this is racially charged. This is emotionally charged. Again, this is a tragedy, no matter how you slice it. But I wish that people would calm down. We don't need one more thing that would fan the flames of racism in our country. So we need to let the court, everything play out in the court as it should, and hopefully the right decisions are made by the law, that people cannot take the law into their hands. Again, this is just so sad, such a tragedy.
To the point of calming things down, Democratic Senator Tim Kaine was asked about this verdict, and I thought this was an admirable response and the exact right response. Listen to this.
Let me ask you about some Democrats who are saying the Karmelo Anthony ruling, the verdict was not fair. What do you think about that?
I have a hard time understanding why they would say that.
They're saying about racial bias.
I know what they're saying, but I have a hard time understanding what they're saying.
Guy.
Arthel is right that this has become very racially charged, and that was the case from the very beginning. But that was not organic. That was done on purpose. It was made racially charged by the family of the now convicted killer and their supporters rallying against white supremacy. That was one of their very initial talking points in all of this. And now you have, well, I think the dad is right saying there's no winners here, although there is a win in the sense of justice. A conviction is the just thing. So unto itself, that's a win. Obviously, the overall situation is utterly tragic from every angle. But for the father of the killer to go on television and lie about the composition of the jury, which he knows is a lie because he was in that room, that is another intentional step, I think, that the family and the supporters of this killer are putting out there in order to fan the flames deliberately, which I think is yet another grotesque element of this story. And the last thing I'll say is these threats against the family, the victim's family, is about as evil and demented as it gets. And I cannot fathom that sort of mentality, but it does exist.
And if I can say, Kaylee, I'm sorry, but I think, too, that there are threats across the board, and that's just horrible. You know, both sides are getting threats. It's just not right, guys. We can't behave like this.
I haven't heard of the Anthony family receiving any threats. In fact, they used hundreds of thousands of dollars that they raised to move into a gated community, claiming that they had security concerns, but weren't able to provide any evidence that they did.
Well, you know, again, Kaylee, everything will continue to be played out. And right now, there is a lot of he said, she said, if you will. And I think that the evidence, let's hope the real evidence comes out. But those are some of the comments that I read as well. So, look, to be very clear, again, I am very bothered by this case, and I'm not here to advocate for either side. I think what has happened is just an utter loss across the, you know, again, just no matter how you look at it.
Kaylee, I do want to end by talking about Austin Metcalf's family. I can't imagine losing my 17-year-old son who had his whole life ahead as his twin brother cradled his body. He had a gaping hole in his chest, and then this family is re-victimized. When they get threats, like TMZ said, should have stabbed Hunter too. They are getting death threats to their family. They will quite literally never be the same again. They've lost a child, and now they're dealing with threats to their family.
Yeah, it's just so gross. And I think the Karmelo Anthony supporters, you see two things happening here. First, you have very prominent individuals among them, including people like Cardi B and Representative Jasmine Crockett, who are relying on a clear distortion of the facts of the case in order to push a narrative. They're just lying about what happened. They're saying that there were multiple boys who ganged up on Karmelo Anthony, again, disputed by the actual facts of the case. They're claiming that Austin was the aggressor in the situation and not Karmelo, who made a verbal threat before he actually acted on it. So that's wrong. But then you have other people who actually accept the facts as they are and continue to justify Karmelo Anthony's behavior regardless. There's a professor at Howard University who wrote an article on Substack this week titled, "Dear Jeff Metcalf, your son is dead because you failed to teach him that black boys have boundaries." She goes on to write, "We have to talk about Austin's decision to approach and confront." And she said that his decision to do that is part of a, quote, long cultural tradition of policing black bodies in space. This is insane. But I want to point this out because it shows that part of the defense here is rooted in an ideology, the same ideology that gave the left permission to violently riot in 2020, the same ideology that is being taught to children in our public schools across the country, and that is anti-racism. This idea that personal responsibility doesn't matter, this idea that certain minorities in this country don't have to conform to the same standards as everyone else because they've been historically disadvantaged. This is a rotten, evil ideology, and it still has consequences which are playing out in this case.
Yep, and that sounds a lot like victim blaming. For someone who can't speak for themselves, it's so shameful.
And that's all we've ever heard about for the last, since Me Too. You can't blame the victim, and yet here we are blaming the victim, and now all of a sudden it's okay to blame the victim. This, and the other problem here is that we have mom coming out on TV of Karmelo Anthony saying, my son didn't intend to kill him, he was defending himself. People don't understand the definition of self-defense. And when you're out there believing that you have a right to plunge a knife into someone's chest without the reasonableness to do so, that's a problem.
And by the way, the take that you just described from that professor is one of the most racist things I've ever heard. Not an anti-white racism thing, an anti-black racism thing. If you're out there saying that black kids have boundaries, and if you cross them, they're going to stab you to death, that is something that a skinhead white supremacist might say. It's racist and awful. No one should be making that argument, especially given the facts of this case.
Yeah, prayers for this family as they deal with these threats.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the fun.
Wow, that was a lot to unpack.
It was a lot.
That's a lot. Because even in this conversation, it looked like black versus white. Like there's one black lady on the news sitting amongst white people, and it's like you could feel the racial tension. Even though we like to say like this isn't about race, it most certainly is. Like there is so much racial tension that people can't clearly see that a boy was murdered, you know, because of the racial tension.
What I don't understand is you can't just point the finger at one, because I done seen a lot of stuff on the internet. I done seen the Austin grave being urinated on. I done seen the Metcalf father saying that, watermelon felon. I done heard about money being raised that was not to the defense.
Yeah, like
it's a whole bunch of holes in it.
Why would you not get your child the best lawyer if he's facing, a murder charge? Why would he not? And you raised over $600,000 in GoFundMe money. Why did that child not come prepared?
And then he's saying, everybody lose. I understand that, but this child, Karmelo Anthony, he got a chance to see sunlight. And when people hear 35 years, they automatically think, okay, he got to do 35 years. No. You might don't have to do the whole 35. But at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. Evil is evil. And this thing needs to, somebody need to put a cap on it. Go ahead and live your life. Everybody's just gassing this stuff up, and then just trying to stir some stuff up. Even the news reporters. Because I only seen, they was just pointing the finger. That's not right. And then a lot of people always compare cases where you got almost the same thing that happened. This child stabbed a child and he only get 10 years. And see, the thing that people need to know is the law. If you don't know the law, you're going to be lost in the sauce. When you take it to trial, they can give you whatever they want when you take it to trial. But if you take a deal, you might get less time. But let's stop pointing the fingers. Let's stop that. Everybody continue to live your life. Don't go to no one's gravesite and urinate and then take a picture.
Wow.
What do you want to be famous? Evil famous? Like, what this? Like, come on, like really, what is this? Who is behind this? To push out the narrative that this black and white thing. I don't know that child, even one of them. But me and my wife have a platform to express our point of views. But if you ask me, all of it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong, 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 wrong. And the first thing is you cannot take someone's life. In the first video we did, someone dropped a comment and said, what about Kyle Rittenhouse? What about him? He was wrong. He belongs in jail. So do we got a hole in the system? In the justice system? Hell yeah, we do. Yes. Did it just start? No. It's been going on. So people need to calm down, learn how the law and the justice system works. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. Do that. A lot of people just running their mouth, and then they don't know what they're talking about. So 35 years don't mean that you got to do it to the door. You might get parole at 15. You might get it at 12. You might get parole at 17. You might got to go up to the parole board and they say, you know what? You got good time, this, that, and the third. All right, we're going to go ahead and let you out on parole. You get to come out and live your life.
But it's like, didn't they know that this would cause like a racial disturbance, not having cameras? Like because of what just happened with Child, hunting that boy down, shooting him in the back.
Wrong.
And
they're wrong.
Completely off.
It's wrong.
Now, we got to have that same energy to say,
we got to.
If you can walk away, let somebody walk away if they choose to, if they walk away.
There you go.
Don't chase them down.
I didn't hear nobody say, this, that, and the third.
Let them walk away.
Oh, but they can put a cap on that.
Yeah.
But this one, we can't put a cap on it because, oh no, this is so wrong. This is so wrong.
That Karmelo Anthony should have walked away.
Walk away, young man.
Let him walk away.
Okay.
If someone is, walk away.
Walk away,
but
man.
You have to give them the chance to walk away.
Absolutely.
Because if someone walks away and still is hunted down like a deer in the woods,
man, you was on a track team. You could have ran away.
Yeah, walk away. If you can walk away from something, walk away.
You outnumbered. Get out of there.
Walk away.
You got to have the common sense to say it's over.
Everyone is left in such a confusion because the system failed with Child's case and many others. So people are confused.
Yes.
And now it's a racial disturbance.
And it is. It is. It is.
And they knew it would be. They knew it would be.
But this is not right.
And we can't feed into this. The boy was wrong. You cannot get in an argument or a fist fight, pick up a knife and stab someone in the heart and kill them. Especially if there's no physical evidence that you just got your butt whipped. That mugshot had no physical evidence that Karmelo had to fight for his life and pick up a knife to kill someone. And another thing, you can catch more flies with honey. There was no apology to the family that lost their child. Had there been some type of remorse, maybe there would have been a lighter sentence. You could kill more flies with honey. And we can't be acting, enraged. I mean, I get it. I understand, but that's not going to get us anywhere.
So bad.
As a community, we have to learn how to talk, have conversation, and not go into a rage. That doesn't get you anywhere.
You cannot have a quick temper.
We cannot teach our kids that it's okay to kill someone in this type of way. Now, I get it. People fight for their lives, but there was no physical evidence. These boys were over 200 pounds. From what I hear, the father had gotten to a scruffle with one of them and had like a body cast on him. So I get it.
Say what?
Yeah, the Metcalf father had gotten to a scruffle maybe years ago. So if these boys would have fought Karmelo, he would have had some type of physical evidence. When they are both over 200 pounds, there would have been some type of black eyes, bruises, something on that mugshot to make us say, okay, Karmelo had to fight for his life. We could clearly see that Karmelo, in anger, took the knife out and stabbed the boy. We could clearly see it. But now that the racial aspect is that now people, their vision of being able to think clearly is gone. It's all gone.
You see, more stuff is coming out, but this case is closed. But it's more stuff that's coming out, and it's all only thing it's doing is stirring up tension. You know, and now they're talking about Cardi B and people trying to put up money, this, that, and the third. That's your right to appeal it. You have the right, but your parents was in place to protect you, and I feel like those people dropped the ball. I'm sorry.
I feel like those are crocodile tears.
They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball.
If our child get into something like this, first of all,
it's crazy.
I'm going to apologize to the family. That's number one. I'm going to apologize to the victim's family genuinely apologize.
And be sincere, right?
And take myself out of it and not say nobody wins, but to truly say, I am so sorry for your loss. Mother to mother, father to father, we are sorry for the pain that you guys have to go through.
Yep.
Is there anything we could do?
And as a father, I will extend my deepest condolences to the family. And then I will ask the public, please, let our families handle this. We don't need people on the outside that, just want to stir it up anyway, that don't really care. They just want to stir it up, be on the news and make the headlines or whatever you guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
That's just sad. That is sad because at the end of the day, someone lost their life and this could have been prevented from happening. Back in the day when in school, when you got to fight, man, you go ahead and throw your hands. And you might shake hands at the end. Separate way. But these Gen X kids, Gen Z, whatever they are, these new generation, something's going on. Something is going on. Someone is teaching them this stuff at home. It starts at home. That's where it starts at.
We can all learn something from this.
Yeah, we can all learn something from it.
Teach your kids. Prepare them for situations like this.
It's crazy.
And if you find yourself in this situation, have remorse. Don't, point, like you said, is a point in the finger, a blame game. It's the parents, the Metcalf family didn't, do this. The mother and father didn't do this. The Anthony family, the parents didn't do this. These were children.
Children.
These are children.
No one should be receiving death threats. No one. Because at the end of the day, you still got to live in that community. You still got to go to Walmart. You still got to pay bills. You still got to go to work. You still got to protect the rest of your remaining family.
Absolutely.
Go on and live your life. All right? We get it. It was a jury that people don't really feel like should have been selected. But that don't take away the fact that someone did this. 2 young men. You got to look at both sides.
And there's a family who doesn't have their child.
It's not right. It's sad.
They'll never see their child again.
Yep.
The Anthony family, as you said, will get to see their child, will get to appeal.
Because I don't think he's going to do the whole 35.
And in 35 years, he'll get to come out and, you know, live his life, you know, if God grants him that. But there's a family who will always, you know, be stuck with the fact that they had to bury their child at such a young age. And a twin.
Such a young age.
You know, twin, you would think your twins would be together forever.
And it don't matter if he was black, Indian, Asian. Don't matter. That's a life.
Yeah, and that's
people
why,
need to take the color out.
Yeah, that's why we see things for what they are. Because we're not looking at it as, oh, this is a white boy, this is a black boy. We're looking at it as these are children.
Children.
These are children.
Children.
Someone's
a child.
Child.
Still wet behind the ear, man.
Children.
He should have a chance to live out his life. He should be burying his parents, not the parents burying him.
Absolutely.
That don't make sense.
Yeah.
So it starts from home. Teach our children. Keep your hands to yourself. If you got a problem, go find an adult, man.
Absolutely.
Get out of there, man. Turn the other way. You know what? Y'all can have it.
And some people don't realize when they've really won.
Right. When you won, you still crying. You
really don't understand that you just won.
You just won.
They could have given this boy 99 years.
Could have gave it to him because he took it to trial.
And he admitted to doing it.
And then I'm hearing about the other guy that was, you know, the black guy. He was already in some trouble. I heard about that. That was the lead defense something, the speaker or whoever he was.
Yeah.
I heard about that, like some stuff he did.
The felon.
You know, so, you know, it's so many
They
holes.
would get a felon to speak for their son, but they couldn't get a lawyer, a decent lawyer who works in high-profile cases.
Go get yourself a good lawyer,
I don't
man.
understand this family.
Go get yourself a good lawyer.
But I'm praying for all the families involved, all members.
There you go.
You know, I wouldn't wish anything like this on my worst enemy.
It's a sad.
But I don't understand that.
People need to just get it together and go on with their life. That's it. Guys, we signing off. Y'all go ahead and smash that like button. Give this video a big fat thumbs up. And also get inside the comment section so we can see your point of view. All right, we signing off.
Peace.